Hello there, welcome to Create a Great Brand New Life with Andrea Poston. I'm here with two special guests today. This is Laurie, she has a background in healthcare, and this is Nancy, she has a background in education. And the reason why I brought these two ladies here, it's, I just feel like when we get together and exchange ideas, sometimes, or most of the times, amazing things happen. And I've been thinking a lot about times when we feel down, almost depressed, on that sense of sadness and darkness. And it got me to think that maybe, just maybe, I'm not really like the only one. Like what do you do when you feel in that sense of darkness and that almost like a tunnel that's never ending? Do you have special techniques or special, how can I say, I call it action packets that you would specifically do in those cases that you could recommend maybe to someone that could use the advice?
Mm-hmm.
And if so, what would be them?
Well, human beings are very emotional, and the feeling down and the feeling up is part of our being, who we are. And we all experience from time to time these type of emotions or say feelings. So being down, being up is part of who we are. The bottom line is how to control when those feelings take over of who we are.
Okay, I have something interesting to say about that, because we can either allow our emotions to use us, or we can actually use our emotions in form of taking an action towards them. So maybe if somebody made you angry, for example, that anger can be used possibly, of a sense of a deeper connection within yourself to find out what you're angry about in the first place. What's the bottom line of that? And what happens is if you allow the emotions to use you, you overreact. Some people hit, some people kill. So when that happens, the emotion is using the person.
Right.
And instead of the person going deeper, on a deeper layer and finding out the real root of what they were angry about in the first place. Do you have something to add about that, Laurie?
Yes, the mind is more powerful than the emotion, and when we use our mind and we think about what's upsetting us first before we react, which is our emotion, that will usually, number one, keep us out of trouble, whether it's, with a relationship, a spat, or perhaps even harming someone. But number two, I think when we get to the bottom line of embracing that emotion, loving ourselves,
Taking a break,
and thinking about it, and then not reacting. So that's a really good way, I believe, to handle the anger part of it, because we all have anger. It's a natural emotion, and it's a healthy one. We just know how to use our mind first and think about it.
And as Nancy said, not maybe hold on to that, because we experience all types of emotions. We all do.
Exactly.
However, do we get to choose the ones we hold on to?
No, this is very interesting. We do not choose how to feel. Emotions will come. There's nothing we can do to stop those emotions from coming. What we can do is controlling the outcome of those emotions.
I like that. Yeah, I got goosebumps.
Let's say, okay, I was excited because I was going to celebration, and my friend calls me and cancels. Of course I'm going to feel down because I was ready. I was so, excited, happy, prepared, and boom, down, shoom. But what I'm going to do, be angry at my friend? React against the people around me?
It happens. A lot of people do that.
If I was dressed with a nice dress code and ripped my dress or put it in the, somewhere, everywhere. No, those are the things that really can happen to us. Being, how can I say, canceled the last minute appointments or meetings, it happens a lot.
It does. It's disappointing. It hurts your feelings.
However, you have the emotion, the upsetting emotion, but then you choose what to do with that emotion. You can hold on to it,
right,
or you can quickly let it go, and then you know, learn from it. Just maybe the lesson would be to be ready for unusual events. Maybe, you know, be ready for unusual events. Does that even make sense? Like, just know that unexpected things will happen.
That's life, yeah.
I have a question. Are we always ready, prepared for those emotions?
No, we're not. Life will happen. Yeah.
But there is a sense of emotional fitness, and this concept is you train yourself to, again, use the tools that both of you ladies have talked about to accept the emotion, however, to stop for a moment, as Laurie mentioned, and then decide what's the action package that you will go ahead and do with them. So just taking one step further, once those emotions come in, and we came up with 2 new alternatives. It could be any emotion. How about sense of sadness and depression? Like, do we have any specifics on that? Like when you were feeling down and you just see darkness. Sometimes, and I can only say because I empathize with people who are in this situation, you feel so down and so dark that you can't even get up, and people keep telling you, like, look around you and your family, how beautiful, and you can't see because you're just so down within yourself. It's hard. What do you do in those cases?
There's so much of that, you know. I think 1 out of 3 or 4 people are depressed.
Okay.
And it's almost an epidemic, you know. And as a healthcare professional, I see it all the time. There's a lot of different things we can do for depression and sadness. You know, I think sadness is probably easier to get over than depression. Depression is a deeper, darker place that we go. Again, we embrace that emotion that we have with loving it, like, why am I feeling sad? And looking at it and thinking about it. And, you know, I take it to God, you know, when I have those feelings. It could be a variety of things. Maybe you're not getting enough food, like we were talking about earlier. You don't feel enough sleep and you're feeling a little bit down. And you might take that as depression or sadness, but it's actually just your body reacting from lack of food or lack of water, or you're just lack of sleep or something.
Or nutritional food.
Nutrition. It could be a chemical imbalance, you know, your chemistry's not right, you know, hormonally. There's a lot of different reasons that people have depression, but I do know one of the best ways to overcome it is to do something nice for someone else. When you reach out of yourself, you know, when you're feeling down, do something nice for someone, and it lifts your spirits just like that. It almost works chemically.
And you know how I can almost relate and explain that is when you're depressed, you're extremely focused within yourself, in that darkness, in everything else is negative, nothing works. When you do something nice for someone else, you change your focus from the negativity and you put your focus onto something else. And where focus goes, energy flows. And you do want your energy to be based on positive aspects, and that will help you, you know, draw out of that darkness. So that was great.
And I just have to say that depression is also inherited, and it's also a learned behavior. We can say both. Okay, I have students, not right now, that used to feel down, and all of a sudden the students feeling down and come to me and say, I feel down. I don't know why I'm feeling so down. And I used to embrace them and take their minds away from whatever was bothering. Sometimes just draw a picture or singing or do something funny. And sometimes a student does not recognize the feeling of darkness. Sometimes it's kind of anger, attitude. We see a lot of attitude today in schools. And teachers don't like that. So we just give them some time for the child to regulate herself. So regulation is very important because our feelings go like this, and we have to put them again in order, just you were mentioning. We have to put them in order because they get out of whack. So
okay, no, I understand that. I can see that.
So a mother, a depressed mother, is going to have depressed children, not all the time, because they can be resilient and, you know, overcome the darkness. But also a learned behavior, because the child can see if the mother is acting down every time something goes wrong in her life.
Right.
The child learns that this is how she is going, or he is going to feel in the future. But if he sees that parent very strong, let's say there is no money for the rent, or they have to move, that happens a lot, and they have to pack things. But they see that the parent is cheerful, is hopeful, and he's excited about it, what life is going to be presented before them. The child learns that and say, "Oh, that's nice."
Yeah.
You see?
Okay, so then I think we came to the same point of directing your focus to a positive action.
Right.
That will possibly keep everyone in the right direction out of depression.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, okay, yes, and learned behavior. I like that you said about learned behavior. There is something in your physiology, how you uphold your body. If you look around, pay a little bit more attention, the expression of a person who's depressed is usually looking down, like will walk, will shoulder back, just posture, I'm huge in posture. Get up,
Yes.
change your physiology, change your body,
Smile.
smile, train those muscles.
Wear light colors instead of dark colors, that too. Sing a song.
Sing a song. Sing a song.
Write a note and say, do something nice for others. Maybe paint a picture.
Maybe paint a picture. Okay, so add some movement to that as well. Okay, that's...
Yeah, but Laurie has something very important to say. Remember, as you were mentioning, the spiritual part of it.
Letting it go and giving it to God. I usually do that first, because in my profession you see a lot of sadness and people that are dying and addicted and a lot of things that are very sad and tragic. And if I didn't, after all the years I've been doing this, give it to God immediately, it would weigh me down and I would be walking like that. So yeah, give it to God first.
I also come up with a conclusion that depression is also too much focus on self. It's too much, and if we see ourselves, and let's be realistic.
Life is about...
Sometimes we don't like what we see inside of us. We don't like sometimes even the outside of us. So when we turn our eyes away from self, and we focus on somebody else that might be in need, or you should mention, it's a fantastic turning to God, which is not a depressed God, it's a happy God.
Right.
Yes.
Our thoughts change.
Well, I think it's clinically proven that the more you give, the happier you are, and the more you just focus on self, the worse off you are, emotionally and physically and everything else, because that's not how we were created. We were created to blend in and help people, and yeah.
That's amazing. So we come to the conclusion that we are all part of a beautiful system. Let's be there for one another. Like those two gorgeous ladies came in and are here with me. I have the collaboration of a great friend of mine that is doing the filming. And I also want to announce before we go, this will be available on my YouTube channel by Andrea Poston. And I want to let you know that there is a new program coming out soon by Laurie here. She's going to be doing a song and a prayer. Yes. And I hope to bring more work like this for you, and I hope you have found this useful. Thank you so much for your precious time watching. Thank you so much, Laurie and Nancy, for coming here today. Have an amazing day.
Yes.
Bye.